All right. Hello, coaches. Welcome to the April Team Rockstar Fit monthly Zoom. We have such an amazing piece ready for you tonight. Get out your notebooks. Get out your pens. You hear me say this every month, but it always bears repeating. Please go someplace quiet. Go someplace undistracted. Theresa and I both just shut off our phones. We turned off our notifications. We are present with you. I would love for you to invest in yourself and in your business and give yourself the next 40 minutes or so to just learn and grow without distraction. So put it all away and dial in. I want to start by just quickly reading our top 10 Success Club earners for the month of April. I'm doing this because maybe our guest speaker is on this list anyway. And I want all of Team Rockstar Fit to give huge recognition, praise, and high fives to our top 10. At this point in Team Rockstar Fit, we have more than 14,000 coaches on Team Rockstar Fit. So to be in the top 10 is no joke. All right. So here we go. Top 10, starting with number 10. We have, these are a tie here. Allison Marshall with 19 points. Denise Flynn with 19 points. Jen Cadzillo, almost about to deliver a baby, 19 points. Dareth Cass, 19 points. Anna Renderer, 20 points. Bethany Rowley, 20 points. Jenny Pirro, 20 points. Nikki Kerrigan, 21 points. Shelly Gonzalez, 24 points, always on the leaderboard. Jody Redfern, 27 points. Libby Burkhalter has real estate on the leaderboard, 28 points. Our guest speaker tonight, Theresa Schroeder, with 32 points. And our top Success Club earner for Team Rockstar Fit for the month of March is Rebecca Dorita with 33 points. So congrats to our top 10 in Success Club. I will list all rock stars who earned 5 or above. You'll see yourself recognized on this page later tonight. Please go in and congratulate and tag your own coaches. Make sure they see that recognition. Coaches, they love to hear from you. So please go recognize your coaches who took the initiative to reach Success Club. For those of you new coaches on the Zoom tonight, maybe just new to Rock the Basics and you're just starting to learn about Success Club, what we mean by that is for every valuable point that you earn in the business is a person that you've helped. Points equal people. You earn 2 Success Club points for every challenge pack that you share with somebody that they buy from you, and you earn 1 Success Club point for every new home direct order for a customer or a coach. So every time you have a point, that means you've helped somebody become a coach or become a customer. You're helping real people. So those big numbers of leaders, 19 above, mean that they helped a lot of people in the month of March. So welcome, Theresa, to the Zoom. So happy to have you. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I can.
So I will do a quick introduction of Theresa. She is my personally sponsored coach. I don't always interview my own coaches, but I would literally be ignoring the fact that this woman is on fire, which is why the theme tonight is starting with a bang. So I will dig into some of Theresa's numbers and data as we go, but this girl has earned this spot on this team Zoom with a lot of effort, work, trial, and error. So welcome to the call. Theresa is 28 years old. She lives in a small town of 9,000 people in Wisconsin. There's so many things I like about her. I could just stop right there, right? My kids asked me the other day if that meant loser. I'm like, it's a W for Wisconsin, people. We get it. Okay. She is married. Her husband's name is Eric. He helps run a family farm and is also a hockey coach. They're parents to a very active 1-year-old son named Parker. She works as a loan officer for a company out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She has the pleasure of working from home 3 out of the 5 days of the week. She goes into the office the other 2 days, and she loves the flexibility of being able to work from home. Therefore, Beachbody business fits right in. So she's a full-time working mom, busy, crushing this business. So Theresa, tell the audience here tonight, what made you decide to become a Beachbody coach? Where did it come from?
Well, thanks again for having me. I started the Beachbody thing. After I had my son, I was looking to get fit again. I was living in this foreign body. You know, after you give birth for the first time, everything changes. And I just found myself kind of sad and not knowing where to start. So I started documenting my fitness journey on an Instagram fitness page that I made for myself. I called it Mom Raising Health. And I just started posting pictures every day of my workouts, my meals, some pictures of my son. And I just kind of started this online diary. And it really helped me keep myself accountable by posting these pictures every day. So through that, I met this Beachbody coach, and she invited me to a challenge. She just reached out to me. I think she commented on one of my pictures, and I was like, sure, tell me more. So we added each other on Facebook, and I joined her group. And I think like a week into it, I was like, this is awesome. You know, this is exactly what I would have wanted when I started my journey. And I just knew right then and there that it was something that I wanted to do.
So tell them, because they're curious then, how did you end up with me? Why don't you share a little bit about, I think it's okay to share a little bit about how you were exposed to the Beachbody business and maybe what made you kind of look around and look at your options.
So when she invited me, and I still keep in contact with her, she's a very nice girl, but when she invited me, she used the Coach Mobile app. I don't know if you're a new coach, you may not know about that yet, but you'll learn in 1.0. So I gave her my email address and the program and flavor Shakeology I wanted, and I got this email sent to me, and it was from a man that I didn't know, I had never met. I didn't know her well enough to know at the time, but it was her boyfriend. And so I was kind of hesitant and standoffish, wondering why I was getting invited by him when I wanted to sign up with her. So she didn't really warn me. Now that I'm a coach, I understand she was probably, trying to get him a sale. And so I was kind of on edge, and I didn't like that I wasn't warned. I just felt weird about it. So I looked around, I talked to my personal trainer, and she knew Trina, and she told me all about her. And I'm like, she sounds like somebody I would want to work with. So I looked her up on Google, looked up all about you, and did some research. And I think I emailed you or Facebooked you. She was on vacation, and she responded right away and set up a call with me, and here I am.
So some cool stuff to learn about that, honestly, just from the start here, that one, coaches out there thinking I poached Theresa. I did not, right? She reached out to me, but I did get back to her right away. I did get to know her as a person right away. I looked up her page. We had good conversations. I sent her some things about my business to look at to see if she'd like. I think I added her into one of my challenge groups for her to see what it is I do as a coach, so she could make a really educated decision about who she felt most comfortable with. So, for coaches out there to think about, who do you most want to work with, and how are those people going to find you, and what kind of vibe do you put out? And in the end, don't make people feel like this is sketchy. If you're trying to, grow your spouse's or husband's or boyfriend's or girlfriend's business, you'll be upfront about that with somebody and say, hey, I'm still going to be your coach, but I'm working on this business, whatever. Anyway, the point being is that Theresa had a little bit of a red flag about that and decided to just look at her options. And, obviously I'm so glad that you found me and that we connected. So I just think that's kind of an interesting story for people to hear and learn, that people do have the choice of who they want to work with as a coach, and make sure that you are the person that you'd want as a coach. Make sure that you're the person that you would want as a coach, right? So think about that. All right. So what does your business right now, tell them your rank, how many coaches you have, things like that.
So currently I have 14 coaches, and I'm an Emerald rank. So I'm working on helping my coaches grow and get more of my coaches to Emerald and build their business in addition to building my own.
Yeah. So to clarify, Theresa joined in January. She actually joined right after Christmas, in between Christmas and New Year's. So this is just 3 months ago, and has 14 coaches. She's 1 Emerald away from being a diamond. She actually asked me recently, hey, should I sign up some coaches under one of my coaches? Do you do that to get a diamond? It was a good discussion because we were able to talk about, nope, just stay the course. Help your coaches build, get a legit, strong diamond business where you've got people committed to their own Emerald business, and not not you kind of creating it. So she's done this all legit, all 14 people. have gotten to know her, been in her challenge groups and all of that. So she's building a really strong business. Theresa, I wish I had these numbers written down for you. I could find them quickly if I needed to, but you joined in December and you hit Success Club in a huge way starting in January. Do you remember off the top of your head, January, February, March?
I think in December, I think I only had like 5 days. I got Success Club 10. Then in January, I want to say that was my big, I think I had like 41 or something. Mm-hmm. And then this month I had 32, and I'm not sure about February, but I think it was 36 maybe.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say that I think I knew that in December, in your first week in the business, you had Success Club 10, and then you've been above 30 every month since then. So we're going to dig into that because people are curious about how you start with such a bang. But I just want coaches to know right off the bat, this is no joke. Theresa isn't a personal trainer. She doesn't work in a gym. She doesn't have a huge following of clients, right? And for her to have 14 coaches, Success Club 30 plus 3 months in a row, Success Club 10 a week in the business means that she's doing something right. So you're going to want to dig in and find out what that is. Okay. So you started with a bang, right into a challenge group right away, right into double-digit Success Club. Why did you jump in with 2 feet? Why did you decide to make Beachbody a priority right away before waiting to learn about it or waiting until it was a better time?
When I decided that I wanted to become a coach, I knew that I wanted to do it right, and I knew I wanted to be successful at it. I think that's another reason why I chose to look elsewhere and join a team I felt that fire in. And I was fired up after talking to Trina on my GSR. I was so excited, and I knew that like if I wanted this to go anywhere, it was up to me. I could ask questions over and over and over again, but if I didn't act upon anything, if I wasn't, reaching out to people or getting in these trainings and stuff, if I wasn't doing it myself, it wasn't going to happen. And so I just decided right off the bat that I was going to run with it. And I'm happy I did. I started with a test group with my closest girlfriends. That's how I got Success Club 10 in the first month. And I just said, hey, I'm going to try out this Beachbody coaching, and I would love for you to join me in a 21-day group. And they all did Insanity Max 30. We loved it. It was a great way for me to, kind of trial and error and see what I liked and what I didn't like about how I ran that group. And I just dove right in, and I loved it. And they told their friends, and yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I remember Zooming with you or like messaging you from vacation and you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this was just a few months ago. I remember you saying like, I want to do Insanity Max 30. I think you had done Insanity yourself, right?
I was, I think a few weeks into it, 3 weeks, I think, when I decided.
And you knew you liked it and it had worked for you. And you're like, I'm just ready to tell my friends about this. I think initially when you asked me about it, you were planning on doing like a 30-day or a 60-day or 90-day group. Like you're going to do the whole shebang.
Yeah.
And so this is the difference between here's someone with fire who just needs some direction. So to step in as a coach and say like, girl, I'm so glad you're on fire. No one's going to stick with it for 90 days except for maybe you. So give them a 21 day. And it was like, she was so coachable. And so immediately like 21 day, 21 day. Right. And just, I love that you knew what you wanted to do. It was your idea to do the focus group. It was your idea to invite your girlfriends, but you're open to coaching and trusted me that doing something shorter was going to be more impactful. And it was, right?
Totally. Yeah. I think now that you say that, I had a start date and I didn't have an end date. You're like, wait a minute. But I was so excited. I just dove right in. But I'm glad you told me that because it would have been a long 90 days.
It would have been right. But that's just it, coaches. I hope you're hearing that. I didn't light the spark in Theresa. When I did her GSR, I was legitimately excited about the potential of this business. She felt that, but had that. I fueled it. She was ready to take action. I gave her some direction, right? So just kind of understanding the push and pull of sponsor and new coach and maybe what you're doing right now that you could tweak a little bit. So let's talk about, I just want to go a little bit more in the challenge groups right here. So you had 6 women in it. It was a blast. You went right into another challenge group in February. So you invited those to continue with you, and then you said you had them refer people to you. Talk us through that a little bit.
So what I have been doing, or started doing in my challenge groups was, I'd check in with the 5 main things, nutrition, water, workout, shake, and then their challenge. So another coach on Team Rockstar Fit, I think it was Theresa, she had recommended to do a 6th thing and call it a bonus and have the girls share their challenge of the day on their personal Facebook page and tag my like page. And it was really cool to see how they use that, because they kind of started their own health journey online, and they were getting support from not only our group, but all their friends were like, oh my gosh, good for you, like a sweaty selfie. And they were getting all these compliments, and they loved it. I loved it. It was so exciting. It was exciting for them and me, because I think I gained like over 300 likes just from my last 21-day challenge on my like page from them doing that. So it was a win-win. And a lot of people that, were exposed to it from my challengers ended up messaging me and asking me about it. And it just kind of keeps rolling.
So just the idea of having social proof and having that out on Facebook for people to be endorsing you as a coach, right, is what has really been growing your page. So you guys, you heard the 5 things people check in on in their challenge. Number 6, it's just the bonus. But give them some ideas of, because people love the detail, Theresa, give them ideas of what other things are they doing for number 5? What do they have to do? A plank challenge, a water challenge? What are you having them do?
Today in my challenge group, this was a new one. I looked up some of the girls, and I just looked through their pictures, and I noticed that one of my challengers has been doing this 150-mile bike ride every summer for leukemia. So I took her picture from her team picture from her Facebook account, and I said, hey, I know the weather's getting warmer. You may not have known this, but Amy has participated in this bike ride for the last 3 summers. I want to know your plans for the summer, and what are you most proud of achieving in your fitness, I guess with your fitness. So a lot of them posted like, oh, I'm planning on doing a 5K. I'm planning on doing a marathon. I've always really wanted to do this, but I haven't. Maybe I'll sign up. So that's what I did today. Other ones I do, random acts of kindness. I have them pay it forward. I have them send a nice email to somebody. I have them take a sweaty selfie. Yesterday was Toasty Tuesday, so they had to push it and share a sweaty selfie. I just like to have fun with it. I change it up almost every challenge. I try to think of something new. I'll reach out on Team Rockstar Fit. People will pour ideas at you, and it's something you may have never even thought of, and it's brilliant. So I like to just, use my resources and look things up and make them fun, because a lot of times you'll have the same girls in your group multiple times, and I don't want them to think that, I don't want them to get bored with it, so I really try to switch it up.
Cool. So a couple cool takeaways here. One, the fact that, her challenge of the day is always something fun and different. And the bigger takeaway here is to be an innovator. So Theresa does ask for advice, either in my page or Team Rockstar Fit, but she's an innovator. She's saying, like, what can I do to keep this interesting? Let me check out what my challenges are up to. Amy does a leukemia ride. What do you want to do this summer? Like, be willing to write your own playbook is what I hope you can write down right now. I might make that a trivia question. We can give you guidance in the business. We can give you rock the basics. We can give you the 5-day clean, the 21-day slim down. But at the end of the day, you've got to be an innovator and write some of your own rules. What would you want to participate in? What would be fun to you? Like, don't wait for permission. Theresa doesn't ask me permission. Like, hey, can I post about a leukemia bike ride? Like, just go do it, right? Like, be an amazing, fun coach and people will follow you. So I love that you've been doing that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about, at the beginning you shared a little bit about you gained weight with Parker and, you kind of lost in your own body. Share a little bit more about your story and how you initially started to share this, initially through Instagram and then now on your Facebook like page. What's your story? Who does it appeal to? How do you share it?
So when I was pregnant, when I got pregnant, I was petite. I've been small my entire life. I was an athlete, so it wasn't really hard for me to stay fit. I was one of those lucky people. Well, then I got pregnant and I wanted to stay active, and I had all these great plans to continue 5Ks, and it just didn't happen. I worked out probably twice a week, not as hard as I should have. I couldn't breathe. It just it's not what I pictured. So by the end of my pregnancy, I had gained 75 pounds. I retained water. I couldn't fit in my shoes. I mean, my arms went numb. I had to wear wrist guards to bed. My poor husband. So I look at pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy. But so after I had my son, I was just like, gosh, I can't wait to get moving again. But then part of me was like, ugh, I have to get moving again. I was just stuck. So I started that online fitness journal, started following more fitness oriented people. They followed me, got into the Beachbody thing. And then I just ran with it. I post on Instagram every day. I have a like page and I post on there 2 to 3 times a day. And what I do to keep that going, because for a lot of people, they think that I'm on Facebook all day long, and I'm not. Before bed every night when I'm laying there, and I would normally be scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through Instagram, I am scheduling my posts for the next 2 days. I take pictures like a crazy person. I capture every workout I do. I take a picture because I may not use it that day, but there might be a rest day that I need a picture, and I like to always have material. So I'll just post one post at 5 a.m. so it automatically posts. Then I post another one at noon so people can see it when they're getting ready for work in the morning. People see it when they're scrolling through on their lunch hour. And then at night I do it 5:30. And I always change it up. I do one post about fitness, one post about health or nutrition, and then one about just my life. A lot of times I use my son, fun things just to show being an active parent. My Facebook like page is Mom Raising Health, and so I kind of try to go towards that audience, young moms, families, active, just ways for people to stay active, I guess. And I actually, even though that's my target audience, I've reached so many more people just because people, they love that. They love that, I saw you posted a workout today. I did that. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Just little things that I post and people like. I'm like, geez, this is why I do this. It takes a little time before bed, but it's worth it.
So takeaway here is massive consistency, right? She created a brand, Mom Raising Health. She was clear that she was trying to reach young active parents, show them what this kind of lifestyle looks like. It's not just a willy-nilly post. It's not just a random picture. It is she owns a magazine, in my view, called Mom Raising Health. And that magazine should feature fitness, it should feature nutrition, and it should feature what does an active parent look like. Some of it includes Parker, some of it includes just her, but it is showing a lifestyle. You're selling a lifestyle, not a shake. You're selling a lifestyle, not a challenge pack. You're selling a lifestyle, not a business opportunity, right? So Theresa really gets this concept of building a brand right from the beginning, and she's been very consistent. 3 posts a day. Here's a coach 3 months into it who's posting 3 posts a day, has consistent content, and has thought it through, right? You don't need to be a coach 2 years into it. You don't have to wait to do this. You can start with a brand. And you can always rebrand or start over. So if you're a coach listening that's like still spinning your wheels, trying to figure it out, just decide, pick a brand, own it, speak to that audience. So anyway, that's stinking awesome. I love it. I love that people think that you're on Facebook all the time, but you just schedule them out in bed and you use that time where you used to be scanning the newsfeed to actually build a business, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me who you are working with in your challenge groups right now. You obviously have like lots of Success Club points, and a lot of your business successes come from challenge groups. You know, who are you working with, and where are you finding people?
I'm working with a lot of different ages. I guess everybody's kind of just 1 degree away from me. I'm not like searching people out. I ask people that I know are already interested in getting fit. For example, I go to a workout class and I would say like 10 of the girls that are in that class have been in one of my challenge groups because they see my posts, they ask me about it, we have a conversation, and they join. I've had past high school teachers join. I've had cousins. My mom did the ultimate reset. My sister's in my challenge group, my cousins. Really, it's so far been people that are pretty close to me or 1 degree away that I have met through another person, either from them tagging my Facebook page or just at a function that Beachbody, you know, I'm always kind of having the Beachbody conversation because it's something I really believe in, and I know how hard it can be to start your fitness journey, or how easy it is to fall off the train, and I'm guilty of that myself. You know, it's the accountability factor is key, and once people hear that, they're like, yeah, you know, the challenge word kind of scares people, but the accountability piece is inviting. So I guess just by constantly having conversations and talking about it and asking them to like my page, and then they follow me for a little bit and
they like who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coaches, I just love the simplicity of this. I'm so proud of her. She's like, coach, and I'm taking all these notes. I have 3 pages of notes already. Like, it's brilliance because it's simplicity and because it is real life, real people. So listen to what she said. This phrase is cool. Always having Beachbody conversations because it's something I believe in. I know how hard it is to start and how easy it is to fall off. So if people wonder, why does Theresa have all this Success Club points? How is she killing it? She's having Beachbody conversations all the time because she understands how easy it is to fall off, how hard it is to start. And then she'll say to somebody, hey, you know what? I've struggled too, or I love working with people who are just getting started. Why don't you just check me out on Facebook? Here's my like page. Once they start following her and she's consistently sharing her message, it's a lot easier for someone to watch her for a month, and then she can post about a challenge group. They've already been watching her, right? So she's building a following literally on a daily basis. So to have, you know, Success Club 30, meaning 15 challenge packs, she probably has 100 people watching her on a regular basis, and 15 of them raised their hand and said, I'm ready right now. So if your business isn't growing, you're not having enough conversations, right? I mean, would you say it's that simple? Like if your business isn't growing, you're not having conversations.
I do think that's probably what I see people struggle with the most is starting a conversation. But when I first started, I thought, okay, I'm going to reach out and send 20 people I had this random message typed up. I'm so embarrassed, but I probably got 2 responses. It was so salesy and not the way to go about it. You know, do you want to join my challenge group? It costs, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but it didn't work. And I needed to take a step back. And I'm like, you know what? If somebody sent me a message and said, hey, you know, oh my gosh, Parker is so active now. And how do you do it? And then I would be like, well, you know, I work out so-and-so. And then they would be like, hey, you should check out my page. I run online challenge groups. That would be so easy to start a conversation with me, and I would be all about it. So I kind of just took a step back, and I'm like, it's not reaching out to people and saying, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach. I run a challenge group every month. Do you want to join me? I just say, hey, oh my gosh, Amelia is so cute. You look amazing. And then they'll respond and you just have a normal conversation. It's not I don't look at it as a sale. I look at it as small talk, and it maybe will lead to a place where I can bring in the challenge group, and it may not. But regardless, it's just keeping that relationship open, and maybe in the future something will happen. But I just, have small talk with people, and 3/4 of the time it'll come up because they've either seen my page or fitness will come up in some fashion.
So Theresa, coaches have heard this and still some struggle to believe that it can be true. So all I can say to them is that it is true. Mm-hmm. Right? Theresa is a loan officer in a small town in northern Wisconsin who's probably one of the top producers in Beachbody right now in terms of Success Club points and recruiting, right? So that's a big number to think about. And you have to realize that she's just having conversations with people about their life. And eventually it comes around to, how do you stay active? How do you stay fit? Where are you struggling? What do you do? I'm a loan officer, but I also run challenge groups. I run online support groups. Like, just having more and more conversations, opening the doors. I love that she said earlier that everybody's 1 degree of separation. I've used that phrase to describe you, Theresa, that when I have helped you with some GSRs of your new coaches and I say, how do you know her? Oh, my boyfriend was her neighbor growing up. Or I went to college with a friend of hers. Like, everybody knew her from someone. So that means that the people who know her know that she's coaching, but she didn't blast the world that she's a Beachbody coach. I remember talking to her initially, like, Theresa, the coach that you were working with is like a Beachbody coach. I want you to just be a healthy, fit mom that people want to follow. And yes, you use Beachbody to help people, but be the healthy, fit mom before you are the Beachbody coach. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, totally.
I love it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to rock this out. Tell the coaches, what tools have you used that have helped you grow in the past few months? What specific tools do you listen to, watch, do, whatever?
I feel like when I first started, there was probably 2 weeks before I started Rock the Basics 1.0 prep. And I had so many questions, and I was probably driving you crazy, sending you messages, and she would answer. But as soon as I enrolled in that class and I did the lessons, I learned so much more than I could have imagined. There's so many tools in there that I didn't know about, like automatic deposit, how to use the Coach Mobile app, that there's a national wake-up call. I haven't missed one of those, by the way, since I started. I put it on my phone while I work, and I pop in a headphone, and I listen to it every week. I have now done all the trainings. I'm in 4.0 now. I had to take 3.0 3 times because I just wasn't, I was really busy at the time and I didn't feel like I fully engaged, so I redid it. I have used basically, I don't know, I follow hundreds of Beachbody coaches. I see what they post, and if I like it, I'll make it my own and I'll post it on my page. I have watched YouTube videos. I've basically, anything that's out there, I've probably watched. Mm-hmm. I know that you can never know too much. And I think that you really need to take advantage of the Rock the Basics. That was key for me. I learned so much in that. And it was a great place to be able to ask questions, to relate to other coaches. I had a girl reach out to me last week and just kind of asked me about my experience and stuff and how I got so many Success Club points. And we got to talking, and now we're going to be Success partners and just Zoom with each other on Wednesday nights for 15 minutes and bounce ideas off each other.
And you guys met in a training? You met in a Rock the Basics?
Mm-hmm. So just, I could tell she had the same values and goals as me and the same outlook on it. And so I'm like, I feel like sometimes it could maybe be overwhelming. Let's just chat once a week and bounce ideas off each other, so
just freaking take the initiative. So here's a quick recap. Theresa investigated, studied resources, dove in while taking action. right? So there's a difference. She got in prep class right away. You weren't overwhelming me with questions, but you had a lot of questions initially, which shows curiosity. And I knew that if I could get you in our trainings, prep 1, 2, 3, 4, if you would trust the journey, which you did, you would learn what you needed to learn while taking action. So I love that she just is a investigator, right? And coaches, sometimes you got to stop holding your coach's hands. You can say, hey, listen, I got to put you in prep class. I'm going to check in on you. I'm going to make sure you complete it. But they got to do the work, right? You can't spoon feed them everything. Sometimes people got to just dig in and find it out, like show some initiative. If a coach who's been in the business for 5 months asks you what the number for the national wake-up call is, you know you got a problem. Mm-hmm. Right? And you said it in your answers, if you're 6 months into this and you've never heard of the Coach mobile app, go back and do the trainings, right? Make your coaches have to earn a bit of their success with your support. I check in with Theresa all the time, right? Mm-hmm. But she's taking action on her own and I'm just checking in on her. So anyway, good stuff right there. I love that. You had mentioned something that I thought was interesting. You said that you keep a planner of your weekly goals. Tell us what that is real quick.
I just write out, like in the morning, I'll sit down and because that's when I think the best, I'll just write down, I have to follow up with so-and-so who took the backstage pass to coaching, and I'm going to see how she liked it. So I'll write that down. Yesterday, I went through my challenge group and I wrote down, there's like 6 women that have kind of like fallen off and haven't been posting consistently. I shot them a message and I found out one had been interviewing for jobs all week, and she got her job and she was so excited, but she's like, I've been doing good. I've just been totally preoccupied. Another one didn't feel comfortable posting. She is very private, and we live in a small town, and you can relate. She works at the police station. She just didn't want to post. And so I'm like, you know what? Shoot me a text every day. Check in with that way. We'll keep you engaged, and I want you to get the most out of this. So I took the time to let them know that I care, and she actually responded. She's like, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I know there's a lot of women in the group, and I really appreciate that you took the time to ask me how I'm doing. And I'm like, gosh, that took me like 2 seconds, So
yeah, but it says so much about you as a person. So coaches, I like that her, just from what she's explained so far, like her daily to-do list obviously includes posting on Facebook and includes inviting to challenge groups and all that kind of stuff. But I like that her weekly goals, every single one related to being personal, right? Like, check in with this coach who did the backstage pass sneak peek. Check in with this customer who's kind of fallen off. Like, it's about relationships and people. Be personal. Don't always be task oriented on it's not all about editing the best photo. Talk to people, be personal with people. So I love that you shared that. Thank you. Okay, we got to get into this because this is pretty enormous. Theresa doesn't talk about her financial success much. She and I talked a little bit. I obviously have a feeling of how well she's doing with her Success Club points, and she's built a team. And so I know she's doing well, but I think it was great that she's willing to share. So she's been a coach for 4 months. And why don't you tell them what your results have been so far and what you've been able to do with that money?
So in 4 months, I've made $6,000, and that will pay for my son's entire year of daycare, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, just for some money I made while having fun and helping people get fit. I mean, it's just crazy. I would have never imagined that, and that happened in, like you said, 3.5 months. So you can do it too.
Right? Yeah. So explain really quickly that, we've talked a little bit about you schedule your posts at night, you do your to-do list in the morning. Someone's thinking right now, like, oh my gosh, Theresa must just have like all the time in the world to do this.
I wish.
So tell them what it's really like.
I have a 1-year-old, so he wakes up 6 a.m. on the dot. I get him ready for school or daycare. My husband takes him. I take that half an hour that I have and I bust through my Beachbody stuff. I have a list and I get it done, and then I do not check unless it's something I know I really should check. I ignore all my messages all day long because when I first started, every notification that popped up, I was all over it. I thought I needed to respond right away. And I could kind of tell it was just, my husband was like, why are you always on your phone? Oh my gosh. I'm like, I am. I have a headache right now. So my advice would be to use your time wisely. You don't have to spend all day doing it. Like I said, before bed, instead of scrolling through, I'm posting my next day's posts. So anyway, to get back, so he goes to daycare. I work full time. So I'm working from 9 to 4:30 every single day. I schedule my post on the weekends because my weekends are my family time, just like probably all of you. So I really think it's just using your time wisely. And a lot of people think that it takes a lot of time, but I would say if you're willing to give it a half an hour to an hour every single day or 5 days a week, you'll start to see things pick up. People don't want to look at a Facebook page that you post on every 2 weeks because that's boring. So I've had people tell me they look forward to my posts every day. So I know that people are watching, and that works.
I was just talking to a new coach on Monday a couple days ago, Theresa, and I was using this example of you and some other coaches on my team who you're cumulatively putting in, maybe an hour, maybe on some days 2 hours a day, maybe some days 30 minutes. It's just the value of what you're doing. It's like having a conversation, sending a message, checking in on somebody, doing a post. It's high value things. And it's just the accumulation of that. It might have taken you 2 minutes to check in with that challenger, but that challenger is now probably going to be like an advocate for your business. It's going to take you a minute to invite someone to get in a coach sneak peek. Like, hey, you've been in my challenge group. I think you'd love to see what I do as a coach. Would you like to be in it? But it's a high value item. An invite is a high value thing, a connection, a relationship. The fact that she's listening to the National Wake Up Call while she's working, multitasking that way. Theresa doesn't do this full time. And honestly, I feel like she's more successful because she doesn't. I know she will be at a spot soon. Well, she will have the choice very soon to leave that full-time job, right? This Beachbody income is easily going to replace that. But even then, I'll warn her, like, listen, you can't do this 9 to 4:30. It's chronic coaching. It is just be diligent, be focused. You can be full-time as a coach, but you still have to get out in the world and go do your workouts and do personal development and spend time with friends and family. And you still have to have hobbies and things outside of just this. So I love that as a full-time coach with a family, you make this a priority, but you're not doing it chronically around the clock.
Yep. No, not at all. And a lot of people, when I've asked them, what do you think a coach does? Facebook all day. I'm like, nope. Like, it probably looks like that, but if you plan things out well, I check my messages at night only. And I just respond to people then, and they can, like I said, it can be daunting if you're looking at every notification and every message. So if you're doing that right now, just try to ignore them until, before you go to bed, and see how that works for you.
You mentioned that, the value of having a power hour. So you get 30 minutes in the morning, and maybe you get a power hour at night or a power 30 minutes of shutting everything else down and just being diligent to your business.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I like, I found too, when I was responding, they weren't heartfelt. I didn't have passion behind my responses. When I, set aside that time at night, I can actually focus and think about what I'm going to say instead of like quick responding before I go into Target. That I think people would rather wait till you can give them your 100% attention than feel like they're not a priority.
That's awesome. And so simple, you guys, but simplicity is key. She's made $6,000 in 4 months, doing a lot of simple, basic things over and over and over with good intention, right? So you mentioned a couple other successes that you've had outside of financial, and there's one in particular that I really liked. What did you discover about yourself?
I just, through Beachbody and like the encouragement to read personal development, I hate reading. I should say I hated reading. Now I look forward to it every day. I signed up for Darren Hardy's I think that was from one of your emails that you sent out, his everyday inspirational motivation.
Daily. Yep.
Yeah. And this morning I listened to it I ran to the grocery store at 8 this morning and I listened to it on the way there. I mean, so I wasn't skipping my personal development. I make sure I get it in every day because that's 5 minutes or less. And that's just so powerful to start your day like that. I have taken a lot away from Beachbody and the lessons in Rock the Basics and applied them to my personal life, my professional, my day job, just a lot of things. I just feel more rounded. I don't know. I feel like I'm continually learning, not just about the business, but like I said, about my personal.
Yeah. And one of the things you said to me earlier was that in doing all this personal development and in becoming a coach, like you've just learned that you're capable of so much more than what you thought you were just in December. Like just talk to us about that for a minute. Like, what does it mean that like all of a sudden you see yourself as a different kind of person?
Yeah. I mean, I was the type, I would get Parker ready in the morning. He'd go to school. I'd sit down. I'd do my work, get totally stressed out all day. 4 o'clock or 4:30 would come. I'd go pick him up. I was just in this like blah routine and getting lost in daily life. And it was just blah. Now I just feel like, I'm going to take advantage of the time that I'm not working. I'm going to invest in this business because this is what makes me happy. I shouldn't say love. I enjoy my day job, but to have something that you're passionate about feels so good. Like I would be willing to put more time into it because I love it. It's not something that I dread. I just get so much out of coaching and I don't know, it just kind of makes me think like, I'm capable of, making this much money, helping this many people in this amount of time. What else am I capable of doing? And it just kind of made me think, and we'll see.
So cool. A couple things there. So coaches listening, it sometimes gets confusing, like how to combine both the love of the product and the love of Beachbody and getting fit and healthy, like the love of the mission and the products with the love of business. So here's what I'm hearing when Theresa says this. She's been able in some miraculous way and hopefully through some encouragement from Team Rockstar Fit and Rock the Basics and her coach and others to see both. Theresa sees the value of coaching people. She loves Shakeology. She loves the fitness program. She's a product of the product. But she also loves the concept of purpose and income and a business. And if you're not talking to your coaches about this, they don't see that. So those of you who are like, I want a business builder. I can't say like Theresa was just like a natural business builder. She just loved what fitness did for her body, for her life, for her confidence. And it was like, hey, wait a second. This is kind of fun. I can do something with this. And I was like, you can earn an income. You could leave that day job if you wanted. You could have flexibility for Parker in the future. Like you got to paint the picture for people. So she loves, but you can't also just have one or the other. I personally don't also believe that you can just love the business and not truly want to help people get healthy and fit and embrace the products. You've got to understand that we're in the business of health and fitness. We're not in the business of just selling a distributor job, right? So the fact that she's been able to merge both is like the, best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. I love it. Okay. I told you we'd wrap it up soon. And, I love talking to you because you're just so real and very relatable. And I know people are listening thinking like, she can do this, I can do this. So tell them a couple places that you have struggled in the past 4 months.
At first, like I mentioned, the time management thing, I was putting way too much time and focus into that. And it wasn't fair to my family. And so I needed to take a step back and figure out how I was going to do this without having it consume me. So that's kind of one struggle that I've had. Another struggle is trying to understand that not all coaches have the same goals as I do, and some of them are totally fine with being a discount coach or maybe not running challenge groups and stuff. So I've kind of had to take a step back there as well and kind of let them find their own way. I've provided them with all the same tools I've been exposed to, and I'm always here for, to answer questions and stuff, but I just need to let people find their own niche,
Yeah. Okay. So many people know what you're saying. They get it. We all get it. And, Teresa's got a great team. She's got a lot of people who've come through her challenge groups, and some want to take off and some just want to enjoy the product and be associated with her, and just not taking it personally if you see something for someone that they're just not ready for. But she does have a couple women wanting to run and do stuff, and you just, have to embrace the ones who are and still care about everybody. Right. And, she and I have had some good conversations and messages back and forth about, like, just put the tools in front of them, have belief in them, show them the path. And when they're on the path, you'll be there. So, that's a struggle for everybody. People saying, like, I've got people, but they're not doing anything. Well, 1, make sure you've given them tools. 2, make sure you've given them belief. 3, make sure that you are setting the pace. Tools, belief, set the pace, have a way for them to follow you. Then if you've done all that, you got to just stay in touch and take care of them until they're ready to run. So, okay, to finish it out, what is your quick advice for coaches who are watching? They have not jumped in 2 feet yet, but they're really inspired by what you said. What can they do?
Sign up for Rock the Basics. If you're a new coach and you're finding that you're asking your sponsored coach a ton of questions all the time and you haven't signed up for Rock the Basics, sign up for Rock the Basics. Somebody told me once that instead of asking a question, try to figure it out on your own first, and do what you can to find a solution without having to ask your manager. I was told that in my last job, and that's so true. I mean, we have so many tools in Rockstar Fit. I think just take advantage of them. Don't be so nervous and just do it. If you want to start a challenge group, I just had one of my coaches, she's doing an Ab Attack 10-day challenge group. She was so nervous, and she messaged me this morning, and she's just freaking out, and I'm like, this is so cool. I'm so proud that you just did this. Like, she's a brand new coach. So just do it. Don't be so nervous. Don't be so nervous about starting conversations or starting your like page. You don't have to do that right away. Reach out to your closest friends first, your family members, your cousins, and just start there. Just start. I love it. Yeah. Just start. I should make that our banner. What to do? Just start. Just start. Right? Okay, so to finish it off, you've been like so awesome and generous with your time today. You've mentioned bits and pieces of what your business looks like, that you do a 21-day, but I like to finish my call with that formula. So everybody's formula is a little bit different, although in Team Rockstar Fit we have some common practices. So what does your business plan look like for a month? So every month I do a 21-day challenge, and I start it either on the first Monday of the month or the first of the month. I think next month in May the first is a Friday, so I switched it to May 4th, just to start on a Monday. And then I think this has been one of the reasons why I've been able to have so many coaches join my team is the second week of my every challenge, I post a reminder that their Shakeology is due to auto ship. And I say, you can contact customer service if you'd like to change your flavor. Or if you'd like to cancel, now is the time to do so. But if you're loving the product and you're interested in receiving it for a discount, talk to me about coaching, and I'll let you know what you can do. So I plant the seed there, and then the last week of my 21-day, I invite my entire challenge group. I do a post. I just share the post that you guys share about the Backstage Pass in my challenge group. And I invite them to that. And I just say, be a fly on the wall. There's no obligations. If you want to just check it out because you're curious to see what I do, check this out. And so I would say probably like 5 girls each time, do that. And then I just follow up with them. And if they see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. And they might not see it right away either. So that's how I run my 21 day. And then, like I said, at the end of that, I just invite them to that backstage pass and do follow-ups.
Do you still do any short challenges?
I did do the 1 5-day free clean eating challenge, and I may do another one soon, but
maybe quarterly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do one a quarter.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah,
I love it. So for coaches who are listening out there and they're not sure what that backstage pass is, check with your upline diamond. I'm sure that your upline has, some people call it a sneak peek. I call ours a backstage pass. It is like a VIP look behind the scenes at what coaching is. We have lots of them on our team. If your upline diamond isn't doing one and you need one to check out, you can message me. And I will get you in one. So it is just a week of behind the scenes of what coaching is. There's a lesson every day. It's kind of like a challenge group for prospective coaches. And so Theresa has just worked that into her challenge group. Week 2, your auto ship's going to go. You can cancel, you can change it, which is such great customer service. Or, hey, you want a discount? Message me and I'll talk to you about that. Planting the seed. Week 3, are you curious about what I do as an online coach? Do you want to check it out like on your own terms? No obligation. We've got this nice group and I run my sneak peek backstage pass at the end of every month. So at the end of every month, my coaches know that they have a place to put prospective coaches, and then she does a follow-up. Yes! Great job. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I love that you're so relatable. And there's other people out there that have lost themselves and their bodies in pregnancy, and fitness has brought them back. And there's other people out there who have a job that they love but would be more passionate about this. And it's just nice to know that, real people have real results. So congrats, Theresa. Rockstars, I will meet you in the Team Rockstar Fit Facebook page right now. Trivia begins. Have a great week.
Bye.